Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chaos Head NoAH. So, this has been a long time coming. My friend Spider has wanted me to play the science adventure series for a long time, and my only prior experience with it is Steins Gate and Steins Gate Zero, which I did not know at the time were actually part of a larger series. um, and this was apparently the first, or, well, NoAH was apparently a expanded version of the first game in the series. But, yeah. I've been very interested in this game for a while, and I played the Infinity Trilogy, which consists of Never 7, Ever 17, and Remember 11, which I've been told inspired this series. Never 7 was something, but I very much enjoyed Ever 17 and Remember 11. I know not exactly the same writers, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting started with this. And let me think, what else? Oh yeah, I do know this game has controversial elements, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what's got people riled up now and then, but it was enough to keep this game off of Steam for a while, apparently. But here we are. This is quite an ominous title screen. So, what does this say? If you were God and your delusions could become reality, what delusions would you wish for? A sensual world? A despotic society? Destructive sanctions? Or not sure what any of that means, but, you know what? Let's just take the plunge. This is my first ever attempt at a Let's Play, so things may be a little awkward, but I hope you guys bear with me. So, yeah.
視線が空から降ってくる。その瞳はいつも僕を見つめていて、眼差しは熱くて真っ黒な雨雲を突き抜けて、雨のように僕へと降り注ぐ。僕を見るな。雨の冷たさより背中を預けている瓦礫の冷たさのせいで、さっきから体の震えが止まらない。ひどく寒い。突き刺さってくる誰のものかもわからない天からの視線。それから逃げるように僕はわずかに首を持ち上げて周囲を見回す。そこにあるのは崩壊した町。
The title
そこにある
screen.
のは絶望。そこにあるのは死。そこにあるのは無。誰もいない。誰も動いていない。誰も生きていない。聞こえるのはただ降り続ける雨の音だけ。このまま全てを、生きているものも死んでいるものも 全てを優しく包み込んで洗い流してしまうんだろうか。全部の出来事が単なる妄想だったらよかったんだけど、どうやらそうでもないらしい。体が動かない。
Hello
動かせる
there.
のはかろうじて首と瞳だけ。体が震えているけど、そんなのただの生理現象でしかない。僕の意志じゃない。僕は身を震わせたいなんて思ってない。僕の自由にならないなら、こんなの僕の体じゃない。あるいは生まれた時から僕は自由なんかじゃなかったかもしれない。心の保管してある場所なんて誰にもわからないんだ。それなのに、一体誰がこの体の中に僕の心があるって言い切れるんだ。でも、だったら僕はどこにいたんだろう。僕はここにいるのかな。僕はどこにもいないのかな。
You're everywhere.
全てが静止している壊れてしまった世界に、ふと死の雨以外の音が響く。無の中から浮かび上がってくるたった一つの湯。君は誰？その肌が青白く見えるのは雨の冷たさに凍えているから？それとも君がもう死んでいるから？でも彼女は震えていなかった。そして前髪で隠れそうになっているその瞳は、僕を見るな。ひどく悲しそうにも見える。狂気じみているようにも見える。何も映していないようにも見える。もしも世界には僕と彼女の二人だけしかいなくて、こうしてお互いだけを永遠に見つめ合っていたら、僕の世界は彼女の瞳に映るものだけになるのかな。彼女の世界は僕の瞳に映るものだけになるのかな。彼女の瞳に映るものは僕、僕の瞳に映るものは彼女。そう考えると世界は途端に矮小化する。
ね
不意に僕の耳に届くとてもきれいなノイズ。彼女はうなだれて両手を左右に広げる。まるであの雨雲の上へ向けて飛び立とうとするかのように、あるいはこの雨すべてを受け止めようとするかのように。
あなたを見つめ妄想。
うなだれた彼女の表情は僕の位置からも伺い知ることができない。
What in the...
雨の薄膜の向こうで君はどんな顔をしている？
殺してあげる。
天使、乱舞する光の羽は僕を祝福しているのか、それとも、ああ、そうか、理解したよ。 それで僕を殺してくれるんだね。ゆっくりと倒れている僕の前に彼女が膝をつく。いまだに彼女はうなだれたまま、僕の頭をそっと抱えてくる。僕を見てくれないことに僕はほっとしてただ身を委ねた。耳元でささやき、きれいなノイズ。でもよく聞こえない。温かくて柔らかくて優しくて甘美な感触。それは麻酔のようで、不思議なことに体の震えがゆっくりと収まっていく。彼女のかすかな鼻息が僕の頬をくすぐる。とても甘い匂い。ふと胸に圧迫感を覚えた。彼女の持っていた大きな剣が僕の胸の皮膚を裂き、肉をえぐり、骨の間を縫い、ゆっくりと体の中に沈み込んできている。でも彼女のキスという麻酔にかけられてもう痛みを感じない。こんなにも優しく殺してくれるから、不意に切なくなって涙があふれそうになって、それをごまかすために彼女の頭越しに雨を落とし続けている鈍色の空を見上げた。空が滲んでいるのは雨のせい、涙のせい。もうあの視線も感じない。もう何もない。薄れゆく意識の中で僕は空へと手を伸ばす。誰か教えて。僕たちのあの空はどこへ行ったんだろう。
I was told to skip any sort of opening, so yeah. Chapter 1, Eyes on Eyes? I think that's what it said. I couldn't see the gaze. I mean, go outside, it's Pride Month. I know I'm very funny. Oh, that, I guess that just turns off the text. How do I advance? I couldn't see it, even though it was watching me. It was strange. For as long as I could remember, I sometimes felt like I was being watched by some mysterious gaze. But whenever I turned to look, there was never anyone there. Still, I was convinced that someone was watching me. I could tell by the chills that ran down my neck. Was I just being too self-conscious? Or did I just have a fear of being watched? Way back in elementary school, I'd thought of it differently. That gaze is God watching over me, and I genuinely believed it too. I'd even written an essay about it back then. New tip, chunibyo. In retrospect, I must have just had a bad case of chunibyo. But now, it hurt just thinking about it. Let me see how I can access the menu. Oh. If anyone were to read it now, I'd probably shut myself away from society for the rest of my life. There we go. Chunibyo, literally 8th grade syndrome, a term referring to a mindset exhibited primarily by adolescent males, also used as a derogatory term to refer to older people who still exhibit this mindset. Characterized by an affected attitude of nihilism or cynicism, antisocial behavior, fantastical delusions, and or a consuming fear of being treated as a child. The person exhibiting these symptoms believes that they are cool, but most adults will find it comical. Chunibyo, which is often abbreviated as chuni, also refers to the fictional tropes that teenage males tend to enjoy, such as ancient conspiracies, superpowers, especially powers sealed in a character's eye or arm, Norse mythology, battles for the fate of the multiverse, etc. Well, I've certainly read my fair share of those. Diagnosis. There we go. Actually, yeah, let me just... Okay, there we go. Yeah. Fuhihi. Is that a name? I could still remember the title of that essay. Oh. Oh, crap, I keep pressing X. Whose Eyes Are Those Eyes? By Nishijo Takumi, Class 4-3. My chair groaned hoarsely as I leaned back. I was so worried about that happening when I tried setting up my stuff that I ended up just buying an entirely new chair. So, I feel ya, man. Never let your guard down, you hear? Blood war? Ah. My chair groaned hoarsely as I leaned back.
僕を見るな。
I mean, I'm not. I'm looking through your eyes. I muttered that toward the gloomy ceiling, irritated. Naturally, there was no response. This was my room. I lived here alone. Aside from me, of course, there wasn't a single person here. I tried turning around. That's, messier than my room. My room was dim and cluttered, with various belongings stacked all the way to the ceiling. Wait, is this a storage container? Where the hell are you? Yeah, this is a storage container. The only source of light in the room was the desk lamp near my PC. Welcome to the kingdom of ESO. Yeah, I got nothing. There weren't any windows, so the darkness should come as no surprise. I'd be concerned if there were windows in a storage container, I guess. And since you couldn't see outside, you can tell whether it was night or day. Not like it's important to this guy, I guess. Oops. I started speaking into the dark corners of my room.
僕の名前は西条匠、17歳、水明学園2年と言っても学校にはほとんど行ってないけど。
Huh. I thought he was an adult. That is a concerning amount of waifu figurines you've got there, Takumi.
まあそれでも勉強はできる方だよ。
The set during 2020 or something?
定期テストはちゃんと受けてる。しかもそれなりに上位の点数を取ってるからね。
Story of my life.
頭はいいんだ。
It wasn't like talking to myself would accomplish anything. It wasn't like anyone was gonna show up out of nowhere. The darkness just kept on sitting there and being darkness. Still, darkness was delusion fuel. After all, the unseen might as well be the unknown. In the darkness, even if you knew it was impossible, you couldn't help but wonder if something might be there, lurking in the shadows. Damn it, this wasn't helping. I was only making my own creepy delusions worse. Why did I do this to myself? To get off the topic, I decided to keep monologuing. What topic? You're talking to yourself.
僕は現在アウェイじゃなかった。渋谷で一人暮らしをしてる。この紅会館ビルは父さんの経営するビル会社の管理下にあるんだけど。その屋上に設置されたコンテナハウスを格安で借りてるんだ。
Yeah. Wait, on the roof? How did they get up there in the first... whatever.
街の環境は最悪。僕が住んでる新船町は小さな坂が多いから疲れるし、すぐ近くにラブホ街もあるし。
Oh.
ここが秋葉なら最高だったのに。ほんと渋谷ってひどい街だ。円数で言うとディーンズバレーくらいひどい。
Dennis Valley. Oh, in his game. Name, Nightheart. Profession, Paladin. Race, Human. Male. Level 50. EXP. I'm not gonna read all that. Anyways, looks like I got a tip for... ESO was the name of an MMORPG that was basically my life. short for a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. A role-playing game in which an unspecified number of players connect to a game world established on an online server and play simultaneously. We went from tip 18 to tip 84, dang. Its full title was Empire Sweeper Online. I dive into Basilard, that's the world of ESO, pretty much every day at this point. Sacrificing sleep in the process, of course. That's me with certain JRPG series. Dennis Valley was a region in ESO that was full of annoying mobs. They hit super hard, and yet they couldn't be bothered to drop any decent loot. Only idiots went there to grind. Every vet worth his crap would go to the forest of Liade instead. It was a much better place to grind, and it was right nearby. Of course, that was where I went.
というわけでドキュンと恋愛資本主義者が集まるこんな街は即刻滅ぶべきだね。
DQ ends. Pronounced Dokyun. Used to refer to people who are stupid, antisocial, or delinquents. Huh. Oops. Okay.
でもこの部屋の住み心地はまあまあ我慢できるレベル。
I mean, if they demolished the city, your room would get messed up too, wouldn't it?
PC とネット環境は最高水準クラスが揃ってるからね。
About as good internet as you can get out of a shipping container, I guess.
まあ学生にしては上等の基地じゃないかな。あ、だから僕はこの部屋のことをベースって呼んでる。
Your base. As always, there wasn't a single living creature in here except me. Realizing how ridiculous I sounded talking to myself like this, I decided to stop introducing myself to whoever was watching me. Is this the curse of the Let's Player?
それにしても汚い部屋だな。
Yeah, no kidding. The whole room reeked of rot. I could feel the stagnating air crawling on my skin. Speaking of air, do you even have an air conditioner in here? How hot is it? Empty soda bottles and boxed lunches from the convenience store were scattered all over the floor. Also, my bed was covered in piles and piles of eroge. Thanks to that, I always slept on the couch instead. Eroge, 18-plus video games that have been popular ever since the late 1980s, featured mainly on PC, and Shinzo Abe's primary enemy. While they may be referred to as video games, the gameplay primarily consists of reading text. The text is often accompanied by character sprites, backgrounds, as well as special illustrations known as CGs, aka computer graphics. The genre involves the player growing closer to the main heroines and experiencing sexual events with them over the course of the story. These events occasionally include subjects such as coercion or even rape. Despite the adult content of the source material, several anime have been made based on these games, many of which have established a cult following. Hopefully not the ones with the rape. Oops. Who am I kidding? They probably did. Wasn't that redo of Healer anime? Wait, no, I think that was based on a manga. Who cares?
片付けろよな。誰だよ散らかしっぱなしにしたのは。って僕か。
Fuhihi is his laugh, I guess. And you've, got a winning smile there, bud. Fed up with my own creepy laugh, I took out my frustration on a plastic bottle lying by my foot. The bottle ricocheted off the wall and flew straight toward my shelf of perfectly organized figures. With a shriek, I leapt out of my chair to catch it. I'd never let anyone lay a finger on any of my 100-ish waifus, daughters, and older sisters. These girls were my darlings. Just looking at them soothed my aching heart. I made sure to tidy up their shelf once a week. It was the only place in the room I ever cleaned. I was always looking for the best ways to display their cuteness. I would constantly rotate and reposition them, trying to create the ultimate layout. Naturally, if I let them get dusty, then the whole thing would be ruined, so I always made sure to clean them regularly. Breathing a sigh of relief, I tossed the bottle aside and turned back to my PC. That is one bouncy bottle, huh? I kept my beloved PC enshrined at the back end of my room. Next to my monitor was Seiratan. 1/8 scale pre-awakening version. A figure from my current favorite anime, Bloodtoon the Animation. Wow, he's such trash that he watches anime adaptations. Seira Orgel. Fictional. I'd be concerned if she wasn't. The lead heroine of the anime Bloodtoon, the Animation. Her signature catchphrase is, "You being dumb!" Seira is what one might call a tsundere childhood friend type character. She's 17 years old and a second-year student at Meteor Academy. She can transform into a magical girl using the power of Star, and she is accompanied by her mysterious familiar called Something. Is this a Mori? Oops. It says, gives me a scrolling option. As is typical of a magical girl, she wields a magical staff she calls Samurai Condenser. Despite it being referred to as a staff, its appearance is far too brutal for it to be considered such. In reality, it is very clearly a giant metal rod. Seira will also use her staff for physical attacks on occasion, or to put it bluntly, she beats her enemies to a bloody pulp with it. Ouch. Oh, scroll text. Bloodtoon was originally a manga, but it recently received an anime adaptation. The anime is currently airing with a total of 26 episodes planned. 2 core, nice. I should probably check and see if I missed anything in these other ones. The consummate Chunibyo case will work such elements into their own personal backstory. Oh, I must have not seen this. Japanese employs a system of name suffixes that define the speaker's relationship to the addressee. The common honorifics are as follows. San, the most common honorific, used with strangers, people of equal status, and in general whenever one needs to be polite. When used after the given name Takumi-san, it indicates a closer relationship. Kun, an informal name suffix generally used for male friends or male subordinates. Also used by males towards female subordinates in professional environments. Chan, a diminutive suffix that indicates high affection, usually used for small children, young girls, or between close female friends. Or Kiryu-chan! Tan, an even more diminutive version of the chan suffix, most often used for fictional characters, especially anthropomorphizations for added cuteness. Chin, yet another diminutive version of the chan suffix, most often used by young girls. It is a more cutesy way to refer to friends. I have honestly never heard of that. Oh, oops. I keep forgetting backspace exists. She sat there, striking a moe pose and smiling at me. Moe. In otaku culture, it refers to feelings of affection, adoration, or excitement towards characters, typically female, in manga, anime, video games, and other media. Also used to describe particular character traits, including flaws like glasses, clumsiness, or ditziness. The term is often used interchangeably with the word cute, or even as a verb. Example, I mowed over her for like an hour. Also used to refer to the culture of entertainment centered around things that are moe. Such media has become so popular that the term has entered the lexicon of otaku, not only in Japan, but across the world. Anime is a plague, a disease. We must purge it. I'm just kidding, I'm part of the problem. Is that really a moe pose, though? She's just kind of standing there.
セーラーかわいいよセーラー
Staring longingly into Sera-tan's eyes, I grabbed a nearby bottle of cola and took a sip. It was lukewarm, but I didn't care. That is the most cursed thing ever.
さてと変すらないと
Alright, let's get back... Wait. I sat back down and plopped my hands onto the keyboard, just assuming that position made me feel relaxed. Same here, bud. My character in ESO, Neidhart. Oh, I thought it said Nightheart. Trails must be mixing me up. My character in ESO, Neidhart, was a paladin. I'd already leveled him up to the max and reset twice. I didn't know there were MMOs where you could do that. Paladin, a holy knight. One of the classes a player can choose in ESO, Empire Sweeper Online. It is characterized by its high defense, ability to use recovery magic despite being a warrior class, and its high resistance to the darkness attribute. However, players cannot change to this class unless they fulfill very specific requirements. It is said to currently be the strongest class in ESO. Sounds like there's some balancing issues. Right now, he was back to the max level 50. That was the highest rank you could reach on official servers. ESO players far and away knew me as Lightning Fast Neidhart. Do they, though? Do they? They treated me like a god. I already had all the rare weapons, armor, and magic. I still only had 95% of the total rare items, but whatever. It was still a work in progress. I had so much gold that I didn't even know what to do with it. Well, aside from RMT, real money trading, which I made a living off of. Even if I stopped grinding right now, I'd still have enough to keep living like this for half a year. RMT, short for real money trading, the act of exchanging fictional items that appear in MMORPGs and other online systems for real currency. This is only possible in games that contain a system that allows for the exchange of items. There are many common issues present in the RMT community, especially fraud, so the practice has its pros and cons. You know, I knew this was a thing, but kinda concerning, humanity. Kinda concerning. Aside from just ESO stuff, I was particularly adept at chatting online. A very useful social skill. It was the only source of social interaction I ever got, after all. I gave advice on the huge anonymous forum @channel. I posted in epic threads, too, of course. Oh yeah, and I had over 100 friends on Free Para, a social network I used. SNS, social networking services, also known as social networks, are community-oriented websites that come in a variety of formats, such as registration-based, invite-only, and more. Websites such as these are designed to facilitate easy communication between users. Respect, trust. I had it all right here. I didn't go to school. It wasn't so much that I didn't want to, and more that I had no reason to. I could study anything online. School's completely useless when you can get everything done from home. Well, I did need to attend every once in a while, or else I wouldn't earn enough credits to graduate. That was why I went to school as little as I possibly could. That was the smartest way for a student to live. My parents always nagged me about it, though. To make things easier, I had invented the minimum attendance chart. That is a lot of effort just to not go. According to the chart, I only needed to attend 2 to 3 times a week. The other students would always make fun of me for being an otaku freak, but as far as I was concerned, they were the stupid ones who were going to school every day. Maybe try thinking for yourselves for once, idiots. The Japanese word for fanatic, nerd, enthusiast, or hobbyist, an all-encompassing term for people with an obsessive interest in a particular topic. Most often refers to fans of anime, manga, and video games, but there are also train otaku, military otaku, electronics otaku, etc. While the word may have held less negative connotations in the past, it has become far less negative over time, with many otaku reclaiming the term as a badge of honor. All in all, my life here really isn't all that bad. Oh, whoops. I'd been so busy thinking about the gays, I forgot I was in the middle of chatting with Grimm. AAK, short for asleep at keyboard, used when someone has fallen asleep or become unresponsive while logged into a game or chat room. A related term is AFK, meaning away from keyboard. Grimm, you okay? You're not replying. You AAK or something? Yo, night art? Grimm was the handle of one of my ESO friends. Handle, an alias used by someone on an online service. I talked to him all the time online, though I'd never met him IRL. Knowing how these things go, he's probably actually a cute anime girl. He had a keen eye for useful information, so I could generally rely on him to keep me in the loop. I sat back down and started tapping out a response. Might be, and nah, I didn't fall asleep. I just zoned out for a sec, lol. Guess you must be really tired. Do you not get enough sleep? Or do you just stay up late doing the dirty with your GF? Lol. Up all night every night. Lol. Short for laugh out loud, and a phrase I use way too much. By inserting lol into the middle or at the end of a sentence, the speaker can convey that they find the situation humorous. On message boards, typing them out in succession, lol 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 lol, allows users to strengthen the expression or to indicate that they're mocking another user. Example, ha ha ha, lol lol lol, sure, lol 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 lol. Variants include LMAO, laughing my arse off, or RO Raffle, rolling on the floor laughing. Come on, you know I'm not into 3D, ROFL. Raffle. The two of us chatted about all sorts of things, and since it was all anonymous, I was comfortable with talking about pretty much anything. Amber Alert. I'd never act like this IRL, obviously. Oh, right, you like 2D, and by 2D you mean heh eroge. What is it with you and lewd crap, lol? Me? You're the guy that has porny delusions all the time. You literally were just going on and on about girls in school swimsuits, remember? Lol. School swimsuit. A swimsuit is a swimsuit designated for school purposes, worn primarily in physical education classes throughout elementary school. I was about to say military academy, middle school, and high school. In this circumstance, however, it is referring to those worn by women. School swimsuits may be further classified according to color and type. Even now, a fierce debate rages on between enthusiasts about whether or not competition swimsuits should be considered school swimsuits. I was? I definitely don't remember that. Anyway, if that's what we're talking about, then here's my take on it. You're so cute, Sarah. Sarah, you're so cute. You're so cute, Sarah. I'll put you to rest now. School swims. School. Put you to rest now. Sarah, you're so cute. Sarah, Sarah, you're so cute, Sarah. Sarah, you're so cute. School swims. Sarah, you're so cute, Sarah. Sarah, you're so cute. Sarah, you're so cute, Sarah. I'll put you to school swims. School. Put you to rest now. Sarah, you're so cute. Sarah, you're so cute, Sarah. I'll put you to rest. You're so cute. Sarah, you're so cute. School swimsuit plus glasses equals perfection. If you're wearing glasses while you're swimming, I'm kind of concerned. I have an option here. Yes. It's not a real school swimsuit unless there's a name tag on the chest. Whoops. Default. Computing and software terminology means initial state. Also used in general conversation to mean the norm or the way it is. Oops. A white school swimsuit, GTFO, navy blue or nothing. Guess I'll just keep picking yes. Slow down, man, LMAO. You like girls with glasses? That's your type? Nah, they just pair well with swimsuits. Usually you'd take your glasses off for swimming, right? But she doesn't. And that leaves all sorts of room for my delusions to work. Well, your libido is definitely a full throttle today, but that's what makes you you, Neidhart. Lol. I should be disgusted, and yet... Lol lol. Alright, I gotta read some tips. Libido. According to Sigmund Freud, libido is the energy that causes sexual impulses. Carl Jung, meanwhile, defines it as the body of energy that drives all instincts. Type. The tendency one has towards a certain interest, mainly used to refer to the fetishistic characteristics that one finds attractive in a sexual partner. For example, if a person is attracted specifically to women who wear glasses, or if they're attracted specifically to clumsy or otherwise ditzy girls, that is their type. At the same time, however, those who possess such fetishistic characteristics can also be referred to using type. An example of this would be an older woman with a calm personality being referred to as a calm older sister type, or a woman who looks young in comparison to her age being referred to as a lolly type. Wait, go back. What do you mean that's what makes you you? I mean, yeah, I guess I went a bit crazy there. But I'm still trying to maintain a cool image for myself here. You? Cool? What are you laughing at? Anyway, what were we talking about before I went AFK? It was probably just something to do with the ESO. Did you seriously forget? There was an incident IRL recently. An incident IRL. I remembered something like that, but what was it? Shogun has joined the room. Greetings, Lord Shogun. Sup? I introduced myself, but there was no reply from the user named Shogun. What was up with that? Was he ignoring me? And I was being so friendly to him, too. Did he know who he was talking to? I'll have you know I'm the lightning-fast Neidhart. Lurking wasn't even allowed here. Lurker, net slang, an online user who browses a website without ever posting on it. Well, whatever. Might as well just ignore him. I guess that was another great thing about the internet. There was no need to worry about pointless etiquette. Anyway, what were you saying, Grimm? I was talking about those cases that have been all over the news lately. Like, I know what's happening IRL. Probably something stupid, right? Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty shocking, though. Shocking. Must have been some real grisly murder then. There'd been a few here and there recently. You're not gonna send me gore again, are you? What? Can't handle a little gore, Nightheart? Lol. I mean, there's nothing I can't handle. Still, I really didn't want to see it. Lately, though, it hadn't been easy to avoid that kind of stuff. People were always trying to trick others into clicking on nasty stuff, like gore or some kind of creepy edit. And once you fell for it, you couldn't unsee it.
まあ少しは目が慣れてきちゃってるのかも。
And they call you the greatest paladin in all of Basilard? Lol. I don't PK, though. PK stands for player kill. In other words, it's when you go around in MMOs killing randos and stealing their golden gear. So, typical Dokun stuff. Trolling. Net slang. To post controversial opinions or false information for the purpose of provoking a reaction. A person who does this is called a troll. I'm no troll, and I don't stoop to their level either. And just in general, I try to avoid breaking ESO's rules. It goes against my policy. Well, except for the rules that prohibited RMT. I broke those all the time. Wow, calm your tits there, oh mighty hero, LMAO. So I'm sure you've heard of new gen, right? New gen? What was that? Had he ever mentioned it before? Grimm was talking like I should have already known about it. The hell is new gen? The new generation madness. People call it new gen online. It's the name for all the it's the name for the mysterious set of incidents happening in Shibuya. It's all up in your neighborhood, lol. Oh, now that he mentioned it, I did feel like I heard about it somewhere. Though, all I knew was that they existed. I hadn't looked into them at all. Delude. I tried Googling new gen and instantly got a few results. Madness explodes in today. Oh. Madness explodes in today's youth. The new gen. Late at night on September 0th, deaths off of Cornelius Tower, a group suicide, according to pieces of flesh under their fiend marks on their heads, based that for unknown reasons. The.
この1ヶ月の間に渋谷で発生した2つの事件のことをニュージェネと呼ぶ。その犠牲者は胎児を含めて7人。
Oh, don't get controversial there, buddy.
1つ目の事件は友人同士5人による高層ビルからの集団ダイブ。
Yikes.
2つ目の事件では男性の体内から胎児が出てきた。
Wait, what? Oh gosh.
これマジかよ。
A chill ran down my spine. Before I'd even realized it, I'd turned around and was looking around my room again. Taboo! Nippon. There were a bunch of results for New Gen on Taboo News, so I went to skim through them. New Generation Madness, the incidents that had the entire internet in an uproar. There'd been 2 of them so far. One of them was so brutal, several TV channels didn't even describe the crime out loud. The first incident, the group dive, had initially been thought to be a suicide, but rumors had since arisen that it may have not been. Parents and friends of the 5 victims all said the same thing. None of the victims had shown any signs of planning to commit suicide, and they hadn't had any reasons to do so either. And on top of that, some physical evidence had been found too. Had a quick look. Well, like something out of a creepypasta, right? You crap yourself yet? I am surprised I heard the word creepypasta here. I thought that was like a late 2000s thing. Oh, I didn't see that earlier. Calm your tits. A crude way of telling someone to calm down. Creepypasta. Internet stories written to frighten or unsettle the reader. A portmanteau of the words creepy and copypasta. Copypasta is, in and of itself, a portmanteau of copy and paste, and it refers to specific blocks of text that are copied and shared all across the internet, especially on message boards such as @channel. Creepypastas, however, stick specifically to horror. They often feature grisly murders, suicide, hauntings, and other various occult occurrences. Not really. IDC, TBH. Here. Guro Daisuke. Oh gosh. Take a look at this, LOL.
グリムのやつ、僕をバカにして楽しんでるな。
For the record, I'm pretty sure Guro Daisuke means I love gore, so prepare yourself. A picture of one of the victims' corpses. He did stuff like this from time to time. But if I wanted to keep up my reputation as the great Neidhart of Basilard, I couldn't let it faze me. Unlike in the real world, I was a god in the world of ESO. I was the strongest, wisest, and most noble knight in all the land. Mocking me would be a fool's errand. And so, gathering up whatever courage I had, I clicked the link. Oh, it was just some crappy doodle. LMAO, I got baited. Who did this? O/, an ideograph depicting a person waving. The O is the head and the slash is the arm, typically used as a greeting or farewell. It can also be used to show agreement, as if the user is raising their hand, typically pronounced as O. I drew it in like 2 minutes. Damn, the god of art finally shows himself to us mortals, ROFL. Anyways, not gonna lie, I'm dead tired, so I think I'm gonna go pass out. GM, see you tomorrow in Basilard. Grimm has left the room. Come to think of it, that Shogun guy has been here the whole time. I'd completely forgotten about him. Not that I cared, though. Well, I don't really feel like sleeping yet, so I guess I'll farm an ESO for a bit. Wait, no, the new episode of Blood Tomb comes out today. I didn't have a TV in my room, so I just made do with my PC.
あと15分ぐらいか。 その前にトイレでも行っておこうかな。
Please don't make me watch. I took a quick look at Sarah next to my monitor. I would get to see Sarah-tan today. I couldn't wait. With that on my mind, I made my way over to close the chat window.
あれ
Gazoop. Shogun had sent a message.
なんだよこいつ急に。
What the? He actually posted. So he wasn't just a lurker. Judging by the file extension, it looked like an image link. A sudden link posted by a suspicious stranger that hadn't sent a single message until now. I gulped instinctively. I couldn't explain why, but I had a bad feeling about it. A feeling unlike anything I had ever felt in all my time on the internet. I really didn't want to click it. I clicked my tongue and glanced at the clock. My rendezvous with Sarah-tan was in 12 minutes. I should probably get this conversation over with quickly. Bait and switch. Lol. What kind of bait and switch is this, LMAO? Die Welt an der Trick. Wenn du darauf klickst. Oh. NGL. Net slang, short for not gonna lie. Used to express that your statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Often utilized in order to soften a statement, or when admitting to something that may not be the most flattering. Bait and switch. A type of media in which a person is baited into believing that what they will see will be one thing, only for it to be swiftly switched out for something else. The most popular form bait and switch takes is when an internet user believes they are clicking a link to something they're looking for, only for it to lead to something wholly undesirable. These can involve any number of things, from jump scares, shock sites, and most often associated with the term, videos used to prank the user in a made you look style fashion. When exposed to enough bait and switch type media, the user may come to suspect anything and everything they come across. In some cases, they may even be too suspicious to take any action at all, and therefore leave the link entirely alone. Let me put this into Google Translate real quick. Oh, whoops. Die Welt ändert sich, wenn du darauf klickst. The world changes when you click on it. Whoa, what's with the German, lol? I was trying my best to act calm and casual. To be honest, I didn't really want to chat with a shady guy like this. I was so uncomfortable that I could feel a cold sweat forming. He was saying something like, the world changes if you click it? Seriously, what was his deal? And if the guy only spoke German, I definitely wouldn't be able to deal with him. Sorry for startling you. Huh, so he could actually speak normally. I relaxed a little bit. DW, you're fine. DW, short for don't worry. Any reason for lurking? Did someone give you the you need to lurk for 6 months before posting spiel? I was thinking. BT Dub, where are you chatting from? For some reason, there was a short pause. Shibuya. All at once, images of those gruesome new-gen incidents flashed through my head. Even though I hadn't actually seen any photos, I could picture them so vividly that it was almost like I'd been there myself. The man's torn-up stomach, the lifeless fetus shoved inside. The 5 people that dove off the building, instantly turning into a pulpy, inhuman puddle upon hitting the ground. Just thinking about it was almost enough to make me puke. I shook my head violently, as if to shake the gruesome delusion out of my head. This Shogun guy was so suspicious I couldn't stop the paranoid delusions from forming. What was he trying to drag me into? Same here. Looks like a lot of weird incidents have been happening lately. Huh. More are coming. Shibuya's so scary. Shiver. Fun to the power of 10 times int to the power of 40 equals LR2. Was this Shogun guy some kind of denpa nut job? Denpa, a term used to refer to individuals who speak or act in a way that is commonly regarded as incoherent, nonsensical, or disconnected from the world around them. The term comes from the Japanese word denpa, which translates literally to electromagnetic waves. This is because people in this category often believe that they are hearing voices, thoughts, or instructions in their head via electromagnetic radiation. Chuck McGill was on to something. I'd never seen that formula before in my life, and when you were as smart as me, that was saying something. I tried looking it up. In this day and age, there was all sorts of information on the internet, so it'd be easy to find.
あれヒットしないな。
Was he trying to act smart by typing some nonsense formula? Heck if I knew. That formula has killed this world's possibilities. What are you trying to say? And what was that link from earlier? Should I just take the bait already? Lol. I thought it might interest you. Is a lot of images. All of a sudden, the chat was flooded with links. Just who was this guy? Was he trying to scare me for craps and giggles? Maybe he was a friend of Grimm's and they'd teamed up to mess with me. Feeling the gaze again, I took a look around the room. But surprise, surprise, all that was behind me was darkness and clutter, as per usual. I was hit with an unnatural sense of dread, the feeling of perpetually being watched left me feeling restless.
僕を見るな。
And upon saying that, I realized that my voice was trembling. It was almost like the cluttered room I knew so well had transformed into someplace completely foreign. If you've ever had to go to the bathroom at night after watching a horror movie or listening to a ghost story or something, You may know the feeling of being unnerved or even terrified by the dark hallways of your own home. That was close to how I felt right now.
くそ、釣られたりするもんか。
In spite of my shuddering, I faced the monitor, leaned in, and before I knew it, with the slightest twitch of my index finger, I'd clicked one of the links.
ちょ、
Oh. I really had no clue how it happened. It wasn't like my hand had been possessed by some unnatural force or something. I'd just sort of done it without thinking. But even though I knew full well that it'd be a mistake, I clicked it as if it were the most natural thing in the world.
なんだよこれ。
The image that filled my monitor looked like some kind of modern art piece. An arrangement of spikes, like the quills of a hedgehog or pins in a cushion, protruded from the wall in the shape of a cross. Below it, a puddle of dark red. And in front of it were small pieces of something, scattered across the ground like garbage. Seriously, what even was this? The work of some pretentious avant-garde artist? Those sorts of idiots were all over the place. They'd make gory stuff like this and spout some BS like, it depicts the latent chaos oft laid bare in this cruel world. No way in hell I'd even consider that crap art. Still, what a weird image. It hadn't explicitly been gore, but it was definitely borderline. So then, why had it seemed so graphic? Why had it seemed so realistic? Why was I imagining the stench of blood, and why was that stench so strong that it nearly made me choke? It was all in my head, so why did I feel sick to my stomach? I felt a sharp, throbbing pain in my forehead. The nausea wouldn't go away. I desperately reached for my mouse, but my trembling hand knocked it off the desk, leaving it dangling above the floor by its cord. I reeled it back to the mouse pad, and then, finally, closed the image. But just as I thought it was finally over, my eyes were struck by... Whose eyes are those eyes? I glanced at the minimum attendance chart. In the end, I hadn't managed to catch the new Bloodtoon episode live. No big deal, though. Someone had upped it to YouTube after the fact, so I'd been able to just watch it there. Net slang, short for upload. I still didn't feel any better, though. Those last words Shogun had left behind. It was almost as if he knew about God's gaze and how much it terrified me. It was way too specific for it to just be a coincidence. Maybe someone had leaked some info about me online. Maybe it was another ESO player with a grudge against Neidhart or something. Prodigies like me got a lot of love, so naturally they also got a lot of hate. Well, most haters out there were just jealous. You wouldn't see them around much, but every once in a while some child would try to start crap because he was jealous of Neidhart's strength and popularity. They weren't worth anyone's time. But we've gone off topic now. Anyway, yeah, that Shogun guy really got to me earlier. I tried logging on to ESO to grind for a little while, but I just couldn't concentrate. And to make matters worse, of all days for this to happen,
最悪の日だ。
On top of everything else that had happened, I also had to go to school today. I seriously didn't want to go, but if I didn't follow the minimum attendance sheet to a T, my calculations would get completely thrown off. Worst case scenario, I'd even have to repeat the year.
眠いのに。
I stifled up a yawn and started trudging off towards school, a trip that was about 10 minutes from my base on foot. Alright, guys, I think that's probably where I should stop it for now, since I'm trying to aim for hour-long episodes at the moment. That was a pretty interesting opening. I'm really interested to see where this goes. There's so much that could be going on here. Yeah, that's about it, so catch you guys next time.